friends. That black tooth though. Jump in. You might wanna keep score.
Good evening and welcome to Hopkinton High School for tonight's varsity girls basketball game as the Westboro Rangers take on your hometown Hopkinton Hillers. Hopkinton High School in the Tri-Valley League is committed to the highest ideals of sportsmanship and establishing a healthy environment for interscholastic competition. Please make sure your behavior reflects respect toward everyone. And now for your starting lineups, starting with the Westboro Rangers. At guard, senior McKenna Thrush, number 5. At forward, number 11, junior Amanda Beckman. At guard, number 12, senior Kristen Wilichowski. Another junior guard, number 22, Anna Finnerty. And number 12, forward, number 25, senior forward, Grace Burns. The Rangers are coached by Julie Hutchinson and head coach Liz Orlando. And now for your hometown Hopkinton Hillers. Starting at guard, number 4, sophomore Elena Davies. Number 5, senior guard, Jessie Iannelli. Number 11, senior guard, Brooke Doherty. Number 23, senior guard, Lauren Cho. And number 22, senior captain, Kiki Fossbender. The Hillers are coached by Michaela Pucci, Carrie Chatton, and head coach Mike Greco. Now please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Hopkinton High School Athletic Center for Hopkinton Hillers girls varsity basketball on HCAM. As tonight, 5-7 Hopkinton welcomes in 12-2 Westboro. Tom Nappy alongside Steve Hain on the call. Our crew is Andy Ritz and Mike Tarosian, and we are just about ready for tip-off here at the Hopkinton High School Athletic Center. Steve, we're getting towards the final few games of the season. The Hillers need to rack up some wins. They're coming off a 4-game losing streak. Westboro off a 2-game losing streak. It should be an interesting game tonight.
The Hillers have quite a challenge ahead of them. This is an excellent Westboro Rangers team, and the Hillers really do need a couple of wins, string some wins together, and make that postseason playoff.
Absolutely. Brooke Doherty in the center circle along with Grace Burns for Westboro. Hopkinton will be working left to right across your screen for the opening half. As Westboro starts off with possession, Wilichowski fires it over to Thrush. Now back to the wing, over to Burns. Up top, Beckman kicks it out over to Thrush. Now to Wilichowski. Over to the corner, up for 3, and no good there. Rebound, Fossbender off the missed Amanda Beckman shot.
Nice box out by Fossbender on that rebound.
Cho along the wing. Gets it to Davies. Davies and Cho pass back and forth. There goes Davies. No good. Westboro rebound. McKenna Thrush, the senior, pulls it down. Fires it up to the short corner. No good on the jumper by Finnerty, and another rebound by Fossbender. Iannelli out to Fossbender, up top to Cho. Now over to Davies. Iannelli kicks it out. Doherty for the long 2. No. And Westboro has it. Collected by Wilichowski.
Good rebounding technique so far. Both teams boxing out, getting that defensive rebound.
Yeah, a couple missed shots by both teams to start off this game. Thrush with a 3. No good. Westboro rebound. Finnerty there to collect. Wilichowski fires it over to Beckman. Back up top to Finnerty. The Hillers have been playing very good defensively. Their shooting has been the area of concern in the last few games. And we're going to get a foul. Looks like Beckman drew some contact.
Well, the Hillers are doing a good job so far of keeping Westboro out of the paint. They're playing good perimeter defense, but unfortunately on that one for the Hillers, they committed the perimeter foul.
We're going to get Lauren Cho with her first, team first. Thrush on the entry to Wilichowski. We'll see how much that name gets me tonight. Over to Burns, up for 3. No good. And it's collected along the short corner by Wilichowski. And she'll launch the 3. That's no good.
A lot of deep shots by Westboro. They don't need to do that. They can go inside.
Fossbender driving in up for the jumper. No. Well, some offensive struggles on both sides to start this game off.
Some good defense and some ill-advised shots thus far. Just not falling for either team yet.
Full court pressure by the Hillers. Thrush with possession. Along the sideline to Wilichowski. Fires it down to Finnerty. Back up to Thrush. Now across over to the wing. Beckman gets it over to Wilichowski along the baseline. No good. Out of bounds it goes. It'll be Hiller ball.
That's some excellent defense there by Brooke Doherty. Getting to that spot on the baseline, not allowing Westboro to penetrate to the basket.
Full court pressure by Westboro as Fossbender passes up to Doherty. Over to Iannelli, and she's blocked. And it'll stay with the Hillers. Good block by Grace Burns. Well, both teams kind of similar in the height department.
Yeah, they're evenly matched in size. And so far, an even defensive battle.
Cho over to Davies. Now to Doherty. Along the baseline, trying to feed it over. Knocked out of bounds off of Wilichowski. Good low post defense by both sides. As Iannelli will have the entry. Fossbender, yes.
Nice stop, pop, right off the glass. Nice shot by Fossbender for the first basket of this ball game.
Kiki Fossbender, the team leader, averaging 18 points per game. Full court pressure once again by the Hillers. Wilichowski fires it over. Thrush gets it over to the wing. And now driving in Beckman up for the shot. No good. And it's collected by Iannelli. Here comes Cho. Fossbender drives along the baseline, draws the foul.
Well, that's a great job by Fossbender of getting around the defense, getting to her spot, and drawing the foul for 2 shots.
They'll get Grace Burns with the foul. It's her first. Team first for Westboro. No good on the first of two for Fossbender. Kiki Fossbender also averaging 10 rebounds per game. A key threat for the Hillers. And she knocks down the second one. We'll get a Westboro timeout. 4:49 left to go in the first quarter. A 3-0 Hillers lead. And a bit of a slow start offensively, but if you're the Hillers, you want to try to heat up and get ahead while you can. Westboro really struggling from the field.
Yeah, if you're Hopkinton, you've got to like how your defense has been playing so far. Westboro is going to get hot, though. You know it's just a matter of time, so the Hillers need to strike while the iron is hot.
Absolutely. And while we have a moment, we'll take a look at the TVL girls basketball standings. In the TVL large, you got Norwood, a perfect 15-0, Medfield 11-2, Ashland 8-7, Westwood 8-5, the Hillers 5-7, Holliston 3-12. In the TVL small, Medway 13-3, Millis 10-7, Dover Sherborne 9-5, Norton 7-9, Dedham 4-12, Bellingham 3-11. Off the timeout, 4:49 left to go. It'll be Westboro ball. These two teams were supposed to play during the annual holiday tournament, but unfortunately could not due to COVID issues. Wachowski over to Thrush. Now to the corner. Beckman in trouble and draws some contact.
And again, with that swarming Hillers defense, it's just got to keep the hands low. If you go up high, you're going to get called for that whistle. Otherwise, great defensive pressure.
They get Bethel Flanagan with her first foul, team second for the Hillers. Entry up top to Burns, now over to Finnerty. Gets it over to Wilichowski. Thrush. Over to the corner, Beckman. Into the interior, up for the shot, and no good is Finnerty. Fossbender has it. Already a couple of rebounds for her. Cho drives in. Count it.
Nice drive by Cho. Strong to the basket.
A 5-0 Hillers lead. Wachowski fires it over to Finnerty. Now up top to Thrush. Back to Wilichowski. Finnerty launches the three. Yes.
Oh, they needed that one.
That puts them right back in the game. I have a feeling this Westboro team could shoot some threes, Steve. We haven't seen it yet.
We have not seen it yet. They've started off cold. They're on the visiting team's court. They could get accustomed to it, and they could heat up.
Cho stepped out of bounds. Westboro ball. Thrush on the entry. Up top over to Beckman. Now to Wilichowski up for three. No good. And it's collected by Flanagan. Flanagan feeds it up to Cho. Fossbender for three. No good. Rims out and collected by Finnerty. Finnerty takes it down, fires it over. Three attempt.
Oh.
And right through goes McKenna Thrush.
And just like that, Westboro regains the lead. Just in the strike of lightning.
Look out for the three ball if you're the Hillers. Up for the three, Iannelli, no good. And it's collected by Finnerty. Now the Hillers haven't had much success shooting from outside the perimeter. I know they want to try to match Westboro, but they can't get over anxious. Beckman feeds it in. Up top. Three attempt. Wow. Knocking it down again, McKenna Thrush.
Bing, bang, boom. It was 5-0. Now it's 9-5 Westboro. And Westboro continues with the full court defense.
I guess that timeout did him some good. And we did get a foul, second on Westboro. It's going to be against Anna Finnerty, her first. A trifecta of threes for Westboro has put them up 9-5. Full court pressure once again. Fossbender up to Doherty. Driving in. And no call there. She was looking for the contact, but it will stay with the Hillers.
Yeah, swatted away by Grace Burns, but Hopkinton retains offensive possession.
Flanagan on the entry to Cho. Fossbender lost it, and Westboro has it. Here goes Finnerty to the rack. Yes.
Nice move by Finnerty, going to her other hand and laying it off the glass.
Doherty going to draw some contact as it's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, Tom, you can really feel the momentum has shifted in the last 2 to 3 minutes.
Lexi Bruce on the entry. Flanagan up to Cho. Back to Fossbender for three. Got it.
Nice.
They needed that. A 3-point game. Finnerty takes it up. Trying to get it to Wilichowski, and Fossbender was waiting for it, but ended up bumping into her.
That's a tough call on an errant pass. Fossbender, a little bit of contact to the body. That's why they whistled her.
That would have been a good football defensive play. Thrush on the entry to Wilichowski. Back to Thrush. Wilichowski feeds the corner over to Finnerty. Back over to Burns. Now across to Beckman for three. No good. Batted in the air, and it'll go with the Hillers. Or no, will it?
Foul against Grace Burns. She did not have position. They got her with a push, going for the defensive rebound. Hillers basketball.
Well, that's the second foul on Grace Burns. Fossbender on the entry. Aggressive defense by both teams. Up to Doherty. And it's stripped away. Fossbender picks it up. Up for the jumper, yes.
Good awareness by Fossbender, not giving up on the play, sticking with it, gets the easy bucket.
Already 8 points for Kiki Fossbender. With it is Thrush. Over to Finnerty. Up to Wilichowski. Over to the corner, Beckman in trouble. Able to feed it into Mills, and she lost it. Fossbender picks it up.
Yeah, Westboro seems really set and intent on shooting those threes, and they're kind of foregoing any other options on the interior.
Cho with it. Trying to decide where to go. Over to Davies. Kicks it back out. Cho. And running out of time on the shot clock. It's knocked out of bounds. We'll stay with the Hillers.
And Westboro is deliberately double-teaming Cho. They know how dangerous she can be, and you can see every time she gets the basketball, there's two Westboro defenders right there in front of her.
Doherty trying to get it to Cho. It's knocked back towards the end line and ended up going out of bounds. Possession Westboro.
Yeah, unfortunately for Doherty, she was out of bounds, touched the ball before she reestablished position inbounds.
Wilichowski. Over to Beckman, back to Wilichowski. Now fires it over to Finnerty for three. Got it.
Oh.
Big time three for Westboro.
And everybody here in Hopkinton is getting an education as to how deadly they can be from outside.
Yep. Fossbender to Davies. Driving in, stripped away, out of bounds it goes, and they're going to say Davies got the last touch.
Yeah, that was some excellent defense there by Finnerty.
Thrush with it. 15 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. Fossbender nearly had the interception picked up by Finnerty. She seems to be a little shooken up. Finnerty lays it in.
Yeah, they could have called Finnerty for the foul on that one. They're saying that she got all ball, but that's a tough call against Fossbender.
Cho for the buzzer beater, no good. And at the end of one quarter of play, it is Westboro 16, the Hillers 10. Steve, impressive three-ball shooting by Westboro.
Yeah, Hopkinton came out with a slight advantage. They took advantage of some opportunities, but before you knew it, Westboro was just hitting threes left and right. And I believe all but one of their buckets have been three balls thus far.
Well, they had 2 twos and 4 threes. McKenna Thrush with 2 threes, 6 points. And Anna Finnerty has 10 points. Those are the only 2-point scores for Westboro. For the Hillers, Kiki Fossbender with 8 points, Lauren Cho with 2. So 2 scores on each team.
Well, you can see when Westboro has possession and they dump it inside, they're looking to dump it back out, kick it out, because they want that 3-ball. That's the bread and butter of their offense. And it started off cold, but now they're heating up. And when they're hitting those threes, it's going to be really tough for Hopkinton to stay in this game. We'll see what they can do in the second.
Well, I'd imagine they will have some kind of approach where they'll have a lot of defenders along the perimeter, less of an interior defense, with the fact that Westboro can certainly shoot the 3-ball as they've showed in the opening quarter.
Right, the Hillers might move their perimeter defense a little bit out, a little bit more aggressive on that 3-point line, force Westboro to keep the ball deeper, to kick it inside and see what they can do there.
And don't forget, the Hiller girls are back home once again tomorrow night for their senior night game at 6:30 p.m. against Ashland. Of course, we'll have that coverage for you on HCAM. We'll have the JV coverage at 5 p.m. That's tomorrow night against Ashland. Cho driving in, keeps possession, up and no good, and bats it over to Thrush. A nice attempt by Cho. Good job getting down into the low post, but couldn't finish. Finnerty fires it up top. Around the horn they go. Wilichowski with it. Back to Thrush. Now over to Finnerty. Wilichowski feeds it in, and an errant pass to the corner. It'll go Hiller's way. Well, Mills just got a little bit too much of an angle on that pass towards Beckman. Ooh, that's not what you want to do there.
Yeah, Westboro's continuing with their full court pressure, which was pretty effective in the first.
She was actually inbounding from the wrong spot, so she was fortunate there. Cho takes it up. Down the lane, up with the underhand, no good. And a battle for it. We'll get a jump ball as Iannelli gets tied up with Mills.
Excellent effort by Iannelli to cause a jump ball, so the possession arrow will flip.
Full court pressure by the Hillers. Thrush over to Wilichowski, now across to Finnerty. And Finnerty drew a little contact. I think they're going to get Fossbender.
Yeah, Fossbender called with the block. She didn't quite get her body in front, and they whistled her for that.
That's going to be her second. She'll have to be careful. You certainly need her in this game. Kate Sams comes into the game. Sophomore will have the entry. Feeds it to Wilichowski. Now to the corner to Beckman. A little bobbled, but able to regather. Now battle for it as Mills gets tied up with Doherty. Jump ball in favor of the Hillers. 7 minutes left to go in the first half. A 6-point Westboro lead. Fossbender. Back to Cho. Now Davies feeds it in. Doherty. Nice feed to Iannelli, and she finishes.
That's good teamwork, good passing. Moving the ball around, getting the easy bucket.
Along an air side, Finnerty feeds it up, and it is taken away by Doherty, and she's able to get it back to Cho.
Yeah, Mike Greco wants a foul. A lot of contact there, no foul called.
Cho to Doherty, drives down, draws the foul. She will head to the line for a pair.
And if you're Hopkinton, you'll take that. You'll take the fouls, racking up the fouls on the opponent's side, getting to the free throw stripe for 2.
First of 2 is good. Second of 2, no good. Loose ball collected by Mills. Wilichowski takes it up. Over to Finnerty. Back to Wilichowski. Now over to Sams for 3. No good off the back iron. And Iannelli able to pull it down.
Again, good boxing out on the Hopkinton side.
And Cho trying to feed it inside. I don't know if that was intentional, but it goes off of Wilichowski's foot.
And a new shot clock, yeah. Kick ball.
We got a Westboro substitution. Grace Burns back into the game for Julia Mills. Doherty to Fossbender. Ryan Ellie to Fossbender, rather, and we have a travel.
Oh, yeah. Kind of shuffled those feet before she took her first dribble. That's a call you'd get away with in the NBA, but it was, in fact, a travel.
Wilichowski on the entry to Beckman. Finnerty feeds it over. Now with it is Sams, and it's taken away.
And Fossbender playing free safety time and again, making some good defensive plays. Drives to the basket.
And she'll draw the foul.
Hopkinton has quietly cut this to a one-possession ball game.
That's going to be the third foul on Grace Burns. She'll likely be coming out of the game soon. First of two is good.
Yeah, she's a very valuable member of their ball club.
Yeah, she's the team leader, averaging 18 points per game, and already tonight has 9. She makes it 10. A 1-point Westboro lead. The feed over to Wilichowski. Wilichowski works up court, gets it over to Beckman. And now a nice feed inside. Up for the shot, no good is Semetter, and we have a foul. That'll be a team 5th foul on the Hillers. They'll get Lauren Cho with her second.
That was a nice offensive rebound by Westboro's Kate Sams. Following the ball, not giving up on the play.
Over to the wing to Beckman. Now a crossover to Wilichowski. Now to Finnerty. Back to Beckman. Up top, Wilichowski feeds it over back to the wing. Running out of time on the shot clock. 12 seconds. 3 from the corner. No good by Finnerty. And it's collected by Westboro. Semetter able to get there. Now taking it in Beckman. Kicks it over to Sams. Up for the shot. No good. And now the putback by Semetter. Count it.
So hard to defend when there's an air ball. You just don't know where the ball's coming down.
Cho trying to respond. Up and in.
Nice finger roll.
Back and forth we go. Sams feeds it over to Finnerty. Back to Sams, Wilichowski. Now into the interior to Semetter. Back out. Beckman drives in off the rim, and Flanagan has it. Bruce over to Cho. Kicks it out to Flanagan. Back to Cho. Fossbender for 3. No good. And just kept in the play by Sams.
Oh, they're going to get her for a foul.
I thought that ball was out of play since I believe it went off the top of the hoop. So technically that should have been out of play.
It did go off the top of the backboard, did not hit the casing behind it. That may have been their rationale for why they did not blow the whistle there.
4:10 left to go as we have a timeout here in the second quarter. It's an 18-17 game, and the Westboro scoring has slowed down in the second quarter. Only 2 points in the quarter for Westboro. The Hillers have 7.
Yeah, the Westboro offense has slowed down, and Hopkinton has given them that interior, as we discussed at the end of the first. Westboro's been taking those opportunities. They just haven't been making their shots inside. And that seems to be the difference in this second quarter.
We'll see if Westboro head coach Liz Orlando has the team try to work inside a little more. Maybe lay off the threes since they're not hitting in the last few minutes. But a good back-and-forth battle as expected between these two teams. And they only meet up once a year, but it's always a great battle between these crosstown, out-of-league rivals.
Yeah, just a short trip down Route 135.
Yep. And a Finnerty on the entry. Hiller's going to keep up with the full court pressure. It's paid off big in some instances. Wilichowski over to Sams, driving in, can't finish. Collected by Cho. Cho kicks it out to Ionelli. Out of Fossbender. Back to Cho. Fossbender now. Gets it in over to Bruce. Ionelli up with the hook. No good. Grabs her own rebound, puts it back. No good. Batted around and is able to keep possession. Over to Cho. Up for the shot. No good. Batted in the air by Flanagan. Looks like a volleyball game out there.
Great effort by Ionelli. On many occasions just couldn't come away with any points on that possession.
That is a way to hustle. Kudos to Jess Ionelli there. Sam's up top. Wilichowski feeds the corner along the baseline. And stepping out was Finnerty. Actually, we're going to have a push. It will be against the Hillers. That's going to be the first on Jess Ionelli. Team 6, both teams with 6 apiece. Thrush on the entry. Gets it over to Semetter. Around the defender, up, and no good. Collected by Flanagan. Cho takes it up. Trying to get it to Flanagan. Punched out of bounds by Wilichowski. Into Cho. Driving down around the defender. Was hoping for the call there, didn't get it. It'll stay with the Hillers, however.
It was swatted away. They're going to say all ball. Hillers keep the ball and with the opportunity to take the lead here.
Lexi Bruce on the entry. Into Cho. Bruce picks it up, out to Fossbender. And as Fossbender drives in, she gets the contact.
Yeah, a little bit of a late whistle, but they did make the right call. She got bumped pretty aggressively there on the post.
Yeah, there was a couple bumps. It's first on Wilichowski, team 7th for Westboro. I like it, though. These officials letting them play out there. Fossbender on the front end of a one-and-one hits.
Big shot.
Now on the back end. Falls out. Collected by Semetter. Here comes Finnerty. Wilichowski. Kicks it to the corner to Sams. That's back up to Wilichowski. In trouble. Takes it in, up for the shot. No good, but draws the foul. The senior Kristen Wilichowski heading to the line.
Wilichowski just on sheer will there. There wasn't a whole lot, but she created some offense for herself and draws the foul.
Ooh, third foul on Cho. Coach Greco might have to take her out earlier than he wanted to.
So you've got key players on each team, each with 3 fouls. Fossbender and Grace Burns for Westboro, each with 3 fouls.
And also Cho for the Hillers. And Wilichowski hits the second. Fossbender. Lost it, and it's picked up by Thrush. Drives lane, can't finish. And now the Hillers get it back.
The refs are letting them mix it up on the floor, aren't they?
Certainly are. Fossbender feeds it over. They're calling it fairly, though, so you can't complain too much.
It's both sides, no doubt about it.
Inside over to Bruce. Bruce, with defenders around it, gets it out to Fossbender. Fossbender up for the jumper. No good. Batted in the air, and it's collected by Doherty. Up for the shot. No good. Batted around once again. Flanagan trying to get to it, and it's knocked out, but Fossbender picks it up. Davies drives in, kicks it out. Doherty for 3. No good. And Westboro gets it back as Sams corrals it in.
Hopkins had a lot of opportunities on that offensive possession. Good hustle, just no points.
For 3. No good there by Thrush. And out of bounds it goes. Hiller ball. Well, we got an intense physical game out there, Steve.
We got a great battle. The intensity is really ratcheted up a notch here. 1:31 left in the first half.
Davies trying to feed it over, and it's just kept in bounds by Finnerty down the lane. No good there. Grabs her own rebound. Sams kicks it out. Up for three. Finnerty, no good. Punched in by Wilichowski, and Thrush nearly collects, but it ended up going just out of bounds.
They're going to say her foot was on the line in that physical confrontation there on the baseline.
Hillers will have the entry. Substitution for Westboro. Amanda Beckman in the game for Kate Sams. Fossbender. Two defenders in front of her. Gets it up to Davies. Now over to Doherty. Driving in and draws the contact.
Way to go into the body. Great instinct by Doherty, drawing the foul, getting back to that free throw stripe.
Brooke Doherty 1 for 2 from the line so far. Chance to tie here on this first of two. Nope.
It's tough when you're running around so much on defense and you get tired at the end of the first half, and then you got to go to the free throw stripe, collect yourself, and hit those free throws. It's not easy.
Certainly isn't. She misses both. Rush with the rebound. Feeds it over to Finnerty. Out of the corner to Wilichowski. Wilichowski over to Semetter along the baseline. Off the side of the hoop it goes. And Lexi Bruce has it. Davies takes it up. Fires it over to Ionelli. Off the window. No good. Batted in the air. Westboro gets it back as Wilichowski pulls it down. Wilichowski back to Thrush. Now to the corner. Beckman driving in. And went up with the hook and some contact there.
Yeah, the crowd is a little bit.
She went into Doherty. It looked like a charge from my perspective.
There was a lot of contact on that drive, and I didn't see any contact with the ball, so hard to understand exactly what was going on there.
And Brooke Doherty's shooken up. They're going to check on her. We certainly hope she's okay, key member of this team. And she's back to her feet. Certainly great to see.
A nice round of ovation as she gets back to her feet and walks off the court of her own volition.
8 fouls on Westboro, 7 on the Hillers. And I think they put a foul on the board. I'm not sure.
And you can see Coach Mike Greco is asking the referee exactly what happened there. How was there no whistle?
Right. I mean, that looked like a charge. Shooter went right into her. But in any case, up and in goes Semetter.
Nice pivot move by Semetter. Nice smooth move to the hoop.
And as Davies comes down the lane, we get a push call against Westboro. It's going to be the second foul on Wilichowski. Lana Davies, a sophomore, hits the front end of the 1-and-1.
And the shot clock is off, so Westboro can keep the next possession all the way to the end of this first half if they so choose.
Chance to put the Hillers within one, and no good. Westboro has it. Taking it up, Thrush. Gets it over to Wilichowski, back to Thrush. Now into the interior to Semetter. She lost it. And Ionelli has it up to Fossbender. 2 seconds left. Down the lane, up and in! Count it! The buzzer beater by Kiki Fossbender. And the Hillers tie it up right in the final second of the half. We're knotted at 21 apiece. Steve.
How appropriate of an end to this back and forth first half with that kind of play by Kiki Fossbender. We got a brand new ball game going into the second half.
Well, you're going to want to stay tuned. We have a whole other half to play. You are tuned into Hopkinton Hillers Girls Varsity Basketball on HCAM. Welcome back into the Hopkinton High School Athletics Center. We are just about ready for the second half of this crosstown rivalry, the Hopkinton Lady Hillers and the Westboro Lady Rangers. It is a 21-all game as we enter the third quarter. Let's take a look at the scoring totals for the first half. We'll start off with Westboro. Annabelle Semetter with 4 points, McKenna Thrush with 6, Kristen Wilichowski with 1 point, and Anna Finnerty with 10. For the Hillers, Elena Davies with 1, Jess Iannelli with 2, Brooke Doherty with 1, Kiki Fossbender leading the way with 13, and Lauren Cho with 4. Well, Steve, the Hillers outscored Westboro 11-5 in the second quarter, and after a good first quarter shooting-wise, Westboro a little bit cold in that second quarter, and the Hillers right back in the game.
And another point that I noticed was that Westboro was consistently applying full-court pressure every time, but Kiki Fossbender just very comfortable with the ball, not turning the ball over. And on the defensive end, Kiki Fossbender getting a lot of steals, playing free safety, as we mentioned, and giving the Hillers a big boost.
And we are underway in the third quarter. Westboro with possession, working left to right across your screen. Wilichowski trying to get it to Finnerty, stolen away by Doherty, up to Fossbender. Fossbender down the lane, up and no good. Put back Iannelli, count it.
Good job by Iannelli getting that offensive rebound. Those are key.
Thrush feeds it up over to Finnerty. Finnerty in trouble. Able to get it away, and we have a travel called on Semetter. Wave off that shot.
That was an excellent pass by Finnerty, but Semetter, her only mistake was she kind of did that frog step, that hop that, again, you get away with in the NBA, not here in the high school game.
Cho over to Doherty, driving in, and it's blocked by Semetter.
Good hands by Semetter.
Certainly
Good
was.
Clean block.
Thrush with it. Up to Semetter, now up top. Wilichowski feeds it over to the corner. Wide open look. No good. Rebound Fossbender off the missed Beckman shot. Fossbender up to Iannelli. Underneath to Cho. Cho corrals it in. Up and in she goes.
Nice job by Cho. She kind of caught that pass a little bit off balance. Goes up to her right off the glass and in.
Good start by the Hillers in the third quarter. Up to Finnerty. Back to Wilichowski. Driving in and can't finish. Put back Semetter. No good. Batted down by Fossbender, and Davies able to collect. Fossbender takes it up now. Through the defenders. Can't finish. Rebound Wilichowski. Feeds it over to Thrush. Cross now to Beckman. Beckman, miscommunication there. Taken by Cho. Looked like she was looking for Wilichowski. Feeds it up to Doherty, and Doherty draws the foul.
Yeah, so far in this third quarter, Westboro's been a little bit careless on offense, making some questionable passes. They just need to settle down a little bit and give Hopkinton credit for playing good defense, taking advantage of those turnover opportunities.
That's going to be the third foul on Wilichowski. No good on the first. Doherty struggling from the strike. She's 1 for 4.
And Hopkinton has opened up a 4-point lead here early in the third quarter.
On the second of 2. Got it. On the entry, Sams.
Now Hopkinton picking up the full court press.
Finnerty back to Sams. Now crossover to Beckman. Back to Sams. Feeds it over. Up with the hook. No good. Grabs her rebound, and Semetter puts it back in.
Good perseverance by Semetter. She missed the easy shot, but she did not get down on herself. Resumes, gets the rebound, puts it back in.
Davies trying to get it over to Doherty. Stolen away. Semetter there to take it away. Thrush in trouble now. Gets it out to Sams. Yeah, I think they missed a double dribble there. Sams. And it's batted away. Cho collects. And taken back by Westboro. Sams feeds it over, up for 3. And good is McKenna Thrush.
And once again, we got another tie score. 26 apiece.
Absolutely. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of suspense in this half. Cho. Over to Davies. Into Ionelli, feeds it underneath. Doherty kicks it out. Fossbender up for the jumper. Yes.
Good decision by Fossbender. Pump fakes from the three-point stripe, but then goes in for the easy basket.
15 points for Kiki Fossbender. Sam's over to Thrush. Now to Finnerty. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Trying to get back to Finnerty. Cho steals it away. Able to swipe it over to Fossbender. Back to Cho now. Cho takes it up, down the lane, up. Oh, can't finish.
Did everything but finish.
And we get a jump ball call. Good hustle by Ionelli getting tied up with Thrush. It'll stay with the Hillers. Doherty out to Cho. Fossbender. Back out to Cho. Up for three. Oh, no good. And pulled in by Sams. Sams takes it in, and some body contact there.
Yeah. The Westboro fan base was happy with that call. The Hopkinton fan base was not happy with that call. Very borderline call. Could have gone either way.
It really could have. They're going to get Cho with her fourth.
And she will likely have to go to the bench.
Cho has 6 points in the game, averaging 7.5 points per game on the season, as Sams misses the first of two.
And Cho will probably get another 4 minutes and 18 seconds of rest here. So she should be well rested for the fourth quarter.
No good on the second. Fossbender corrals it in. Oh, she stepped out, or did she? Nope, we have a push. It's going to be against Westboro. That's going to be the second on Semeter. Davies feeds it over. Ionelli gets it in over to Dacey, and now underneath. Up for the shot. No good. Rebound Bruce. And Westboro has it.
Oh.
Ionelli nearly stripped it away. Sams feeds it up. Sam steps in, launches the three. No good. Air ball. Out of play it goes. A 2-point Hiller lead with 3:49 left to go in the third quarter.
There may be a little bit of fatigue setting in with some of these shooters. A bit wide of the mark here in the third quarter.
Davies. Ooh, I think a miscommunication there. And we'll have a jump ball call. It'll be Rangers ball. Thrush on the entry. Sams feeds it over. Thrush back to Sams. Along the far side.
Good trap.
Yep. And a timeout by Westboro. Probably the smart call there. 3:28 left to go in the third quarter. A 28-26 Hiller lead. We have a couple updates to give you in other girls' action in the TVL. Westwood defeated Holliston 46-26. Big win for the Westwood Wolverines. And don't forget, tomorrow night, Hopkinton Hiller girls basketball back in action as they will take on the Ashland Clockers for their annual senior night game. The varsity tips off at 6:30 p.m., but before that, we'll have the JV game as well at 5 p.m. The girls basketball team has been very busy in the last couple of weeks after having many postponements in the beginning of the season due to COVID and a couple weather postponements. It's been pretty much a sprint right to the finish for the Hiller girls.
Well, yeah, and tomorrow night you've got Ashland, the Clockers coming on in, and there's a rivalry that goes back decades. I mean, that goes all the way back 50, 60, 70 years. So that should be a great game, a great matchup, and two competitors that know each other quite well.
Absolutely. I'm expecting a pretty packed house for that one. Off the timeout, Westboro ball. Finnerty into Thrush. Back to Finnerty. Now along the corner, around the perimeter they go. Up for the shot, Finnerty. No good from three-point land, and Fossbender collects.
Hopkins giving them a little bit too much room on the perimeter to get those shots off easily. They might do well to tighten up that perimeter defense.
Davies over to Iannelli. Back to Davies now. Iannelli gets it into Bruce. Bruce, nice feed of Doherty.
Good decision by Bruce to forego the shot, dump it inside for the easy basket. Great assist by Bruce.
Rick Doherty with 4 points in the game tonight. Thrush feeds it up over to Sams. Now over to Finnerty. Now to the corner, up for three, and good is Grace Burns.
And if you give the Lady Rangers all those opportunities wide open from three, they're going to hit some, as Grace Burns just did. 1 point game.
Davies with it. Doherty. Iannelli. Fossbender gets it into Bruce. Bruce gets tied up. Oh, we have a foul. Or do we? I think it was actually a jump ball call.
We had one official signal travel. The other official signal jump ball. So we'll see how they resolve this.
Carpenter on the entry. Full court pressure, as the Hillers have done pretty much all game. Wilichowski back to Carpenter. Feeds it over to Finnerty. Wilichowski over to the wing to Beckman. Bounces it out to Carpenter, up for the three, knocks it down.
And the Rangers are heating up, taking a 2-point lead with those 3-point baskets.
Davies with it. And it's stripped away. Wilichowski comes away with it. Feeds it up for the shot, and in. Rachel Carpenter, the freshman.
Just a smart play by Wilichowski, getting it to Carpenter for the easy layup.
5 quick points by Carpenter. And now Flanagan. Into Bruce, out to Doherty, up for three, no good. Batted around, Doherty comes away with it, and it's stripped out as she tries to put it back. Good block by Grace Burns. Around the perimeter they go, up from the wing, no good is Beckman. And Davies collects.
Hopkins needs a bucket right here. They need to stop the bleeding.
Fossbender, out to Davies. Down the lane, and we get a block. And a turnover as Wilichowski comes away with it. Feeds it up. Up goes Finnerty. No good. Westboro rebound up with the hook and in, plus the foul, Rachel Carpenter.
What an impressive left hand from Rachel Carpenter. Drawing the contact on her right side, switching to the left hand, going up, getting the and one. And Westboro has quietly opened up a 6-point lead with a chance to make this a 3-possession ball game.
Second foul on Bethel Flanagan. And she hits the and one. Well, Westboro starting to heat up offensively, you could say. Along the far side, Flanagan. And a smart timeout call by Coach Greco there. 51 seconds left to go in the third quarter. It's now a 7-point Westboro lead. And talk about a momentum shift, Steve.
Yeah, and there's only 52 seconds left in the third quarter, but that's still a very good decision by Coach Mike Greco to take that timeout. You don't want this to get out of hand in the final minute of play here in the third. Collect your team, have them collect themselves, get a good quality opportunity on the offensive end, and try to cut into this lead a little bit leading into the fourth quarter.
Westboro has outscored the Hillers 16-9 in this third quarter. And they were ice cold from the field in the second quarter, only putting up 5 points, but have really turned the tables in the last few minutes.
Well, they've been getting good offensive looks, have the Westboro Lady Rangers. I mean, they're getting open on the perimeter. There hasn't really been sufficient defensive pressure pushing out towards that three-point stripe. And when they're getting those open baskets, they're going to miss some, but they're sure going to make some as well. And that's what we've seen here.
How about the lone freshman on Westboro's roster? Rachel Carpenter comes into the game and has 8 points all in the third quarter.
Yeah, coming off the bench, giving her team a big lift.
I think they'll keep her out there for quite a while. Iannelli on the entry, and Flanagan into Cho. Cho back to Flanagan. Doherty is blocked. We'll stay with the Hillers. 41 seconds left to go in the third. Doherty trying to get it in the lane. It's taken away by Finnerty. Finnerty down the lane up for the lay-in, no good. Battle for it, and it is picked up by Cho. And now, shot from up top, and it's good. Grace Burns knocking down a three.
Big shot by Grace Burns, a 10-point lead for the Lady Rangers.
Doherty, Fossbender. And that's going to be a backcourt violation. Well, the Hillers got into trouble. They brought Cho back in the game to see if it would give them a momentum boost. And so far, the plan has not worked, so Cho's going to come back out. She has 4 fouls, so they are being extra careful with her.
Yeah, you don't want her picking up her 5th foul in the final 16 seconds.
Beckman with it. Over to Wilichowski. Kicks it out. Finnerty, long 2. No good. Put back Burns, and it's good. Grace Burns striking again. Final second. Davies at the buzzer. No good. And at the end of 3 quarters, it is Westboro 42, the Hillers 30. Hopkinton got cold from the field. Westboro got hot and outscored the Hillers 21-9 in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Westboro just really turned it on the last couple minutes of that quarter right there and have built for themselves a commanding 12-point lead.
Well, you hope that the tables will turn once again, but the Hillers, they need to heat up from the field. They really struggled in those last few minutes. And we'll get you the scoring totals in just a moment through 3 quarters of play. For the Hillers, Elena Davies with 1, Jess Iannelli with 4, Brooke Doherty with 4, Kiki Fossbender with 15 points, Lauren Cho with 6. For Westboro, Annabelle Semetter with 6, Melena Thrush with 9, Kristen Wilczowski with 1, Rachel Carpenter with 8, Anna Finnerty with 10, and Grace Burns with 8. And the entry is Jess Iannelli. We're in the final 8 minutes of regulation. Hillers working right to left across your screen. And it's fumbled by Iannelli, ends up out of bounds. Westboro ball. Wilichowski on the entry into Carpenter. Back to Wilichowski. Carpenter now. He'll pass back and forth up the floor. Feeds it over to Beckman. Out to Finnerty. Wilichowski feeds it underneath. Up and in goes Amanda Beckman.
And Beckman got the easy bucket, but that was just a precision example of breaking the press with ease and getting it down the floor.
Fossbender can't respond. And Beckman draws body contact.
Yeah, a bit of a frustration foul there by Brooke Doherty. You can tell the Hillers are getting a little bit frustrated. They feel the game slipping away with 7 minutes and 25 seconds left.
Wilichowski on the entry to Finnerty. Back to Wilichowski now. Up the floor to Beckman. And now here goes Finnerty, and it's a block. And it'll go Hillers' way, and it's also going to be an offensive charge. We'll get Finnerty with her second foul.
Well, the Hillers were certainly the beneficiary of that call. I'm not sure exactly what they saw on that one.
Iannelli underneath the Doherty, yes.
And big bucket. First hoop for the Hillers in quite some time.
They needed that. 12-point game. And we're going to get a foul here as Finnerty got tripped up, and she is shooken up. They're going to check on her. We certainly hope she's okay. But injury on the floor with Westboro leading by 12. We'll step aside. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Girls Varsity Basketball on HCAM. And we are ready to continue on. They're helping Anna Finnerty off the floor. She got shooken up We certainly hope she's okay and give her our best. But it's been a tough physical game, and unfortunately sometimes you get injuries like that, and they're checking out her left leg. Hopefully it is nothing serious.
Yeah, Infinity's played a whale of a game. She's given her team a lot of offensive firepower, played pretty solid defense as well, and hopefully it's just a Charlie horse type of thing, but she is really clutching at that knee and had to be helped off without putting any pressure as she came off the floor. So that is concerning.
7:01 left to go. A 12-point Westboro lead. With possession, Thrush feeds it in. Great feed underneath. Wide open is Grace Burns, and she finishes.
And good decision by Burns to get to that spot right in the low post where she went up for the easy two.
Fossbender across to Davies. Stripped away by Beckman. Beckman in trouble, surrounded by defenders. Just able to get it to Thrush, but she was unable to stay in bounds, but it is a Hillers foul. They get the Hillers with a push. That's going to be the second foul on Jess Iannelli. Or correction, they're going to give it to Elena Davies. 5 fouls for the Hillers, 4 for Westboro. That is Wilichowski. Full court pressure by the Hillers. Feeds it up the floor, and a little bit too much mustard on that pass.
And that time the full court pressure worked and forced an errant pass for the turnover back to the Hillers.
Yeah, she was trying to get it up the floor to Burns, but just a little too much. Cho. Fossbender. Back to Cho. Iannelli. Doherty. And draws contact. McKenna Thrush didn't like that call.
Yeah, Thrush is putting her hands up as to say, what did I do? But she did grab the arm when she was going for that steal on the lower post.
That's the old, I didn't do that trick. Doherty. Into Iannelli. Cho. Trying to get back to Fossbender. Swatted out of play by Beckman. It'll be a Hillers inbound.
And Hopkinton really needs to convert every single offensive possession at this juncture. They're down 14 points. They need to get some points and stop making those kind of turnovers.
Wilichowski with a steal, feeds it over. Beckman kicks it out over to Carpenter, up for 3, no good. And it's collected by Cho. And despite the fact Cho has 4 fouls, they have her in the game because they know they need her right now. Doherty driving in, up, no good. Iannelli trying to corral it in and could not, and it'll stay with the Hillers. Official going to rule Wilichowski got the last touch.
That's a tough call on Wilichowski. I did not see any contact from her on the ball, but they're going to let the Hillers retain possession.
Iannelli on the entry to Davies, she goes. Trying to kick it out to Fossbender. It's tipped away, but Fossbender collects. Cho. Running out of time on the shot clock. A missed dribble there by Cho. Carpenter into Wilichowski. Up now to Thrush. Thrush airs it out to Burns. Back out to Carpenter. Drives down the lane, kicks it out. Beckman kicks it back out. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Up, no good. Fossbender collects. Good defense by the Hillers. And knocked out of bounds by Beckman. Iannelli on the entry.
I think the Hillers need to go to the basket. They need to drive. They need to draw contact. They need to get to the free throw stripe and extend this game as much as possible.
And they tried her there, but a great block by Grace Burns on Iannelli. Wilichowski with it. Beckman. Carpenter. Over to Thrush. Driving in, out to Carpenter, up for 3. No good. And, Cho nearly had it, but Burns got a little tip on it, and then Cho knocked it out of play.
And you can see that killer instinct for the Lady Rangers. They're trying to get those 3-point baskets to really pile it on here and put this game completely out of reach.
McKenna Thrush on the entry. You can see they have ice on the knee of Anna Finnerty in the background as Thrush set to inbound. Wilichowski feeds it up. Now back to Wilichowski from Carpenter. Over to Beckman. Wilichowski trying to get it underneath. Knocked out of play by Fossbender. Good hustle.
Yeah, and Westboro is also content to use most of that 30-second clock. I mean, they want to take the air out of the ball right here, up 14 points.
I feel like Kiki Fossbender will make a good defensive back. Thrush on the entry. Around the top of the perimeter they go. Wilichowski feeds it over. Up for the long two. Carpenter, no good. And it is collected by Burns. Kicks it out. 3-ball. No good by Thrush, but Westboro gets it back once again.
Looking for those threes.
Burns up to Wilichowski. Now over to Thrush. Now across to Carpenter. Up top, Beckman. Over to Burns. Long two. No good. Iannelli collects, and there was a foul in the process.
So they're going to call an over-the-back foul there on Rachel Carpenter going for the rebound.
It'll be her first, team sixth. Just under 4 minutes left to go. Hillers running out of time. Flanagan, and gets tied up with Thrush. We'll get a jump ball. Westboro ball.
Boy, there's been really good defensive intensity from both ball clubs tonight. A lot of jump balls, and what that means is you've got players being aggressive, getting in there, getting to the floor, and going for those 50-50 balls. Love to see that from these young ladies.
Wilichowski with it. Thrush. Wilichowski sets the pick. Able to get to the loose ball. Burns. Up top, Carpenter. Now over to the left side of the perimeter. Thrush tosses it over to Beckman. Up top for three. Burns, no good. And it's a Hiller rebound there to collect is Kate Finnegan. And here comes Charlotte Holden. Over to Paharic. The Hillers pretty much subbed in all their starters. Or in for all their starters. Bruce for the shot, no good. And we're going to have a push.
Yeah, Coach Greco's put the second string in, you might say. And you love to see that because these girls, they practice every day. They're working hard, and it's great to see them get some minutes here at the end of the game.
Absolutely. And his second string certainly has a lot of talent as well. Some good players out there. Good young players that will certainly be good players to watch over the next couple of years. Bruce feeds it up. With it is Charlotte Holden. Trying to get it over to Flanagan, knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, it's really impressive to see on both of these squads. You've got a lot of freshmen and sophomores competing at the varsity level, and they've got bright futures ahead of them.
Speaking of sophomores with bright futures, Bethel Flanagan on the entry to Charlotte Holden. Into the interior. And knocked out of bounds as Finnegan went in, and it'll stay with the Hillers. Entry to Flanagan, now up top over to Holden. Feeds it in, over to the short corner now, and driving in, drawing the foul is Holly Paharic.
Nice job by Paharic. Going strong to the basket, drawing the contact, and you know, at this juncture in the game, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion, but these are really important minutes to work on fundamentals, to build your skills, get that game experience that you're going to need in the years to come.
Absolutely. Grace Burns with her fourth foul of the game. No good on the first by Paharic. On the second free throw, knocks it down.
You're also at this point, if you're Hopkinton, you're mentally preparing for tomorrow night. You got a big game in less than 24 hours, so you want to give yourself some positive momentum going into that matchup with the Clockers.
Wilichowski into Burns. Around the perimeter they go. Carpenter for three. No good. Collected by Wilichowski, feeds it underneath. Now out to Thrush. Under 2 minutes left to go. Westboro trying to burn some clock at this point.
And that's what Coach Trelano wants to see from her squad, is she wants to see them playing smart basketball. Take the air out of the ball. Keep it. Don't put a shot up right away. The clock is your friend.
And we'll get an over-the-back call on Finnegan. It's going to be a 1-and-1 for Westboro. Grace Burns, who came into the game in the third quarter, provided a spark for Westboro. Dropped 10 points overall, all in the second half. She's at the line.
And in the first half, she had a tremendous amount of rebounds and was really a defensive presence down low. So even when she's not scoring, she's adding a lot of value to her team.
She hits the front end of a 1-and-1. On the back end, count it.
And a nice hand for Grace Burns as she comes off the floor, probably for the last time tonight.
Charlotte Holden will take it up. Miller's working around the right side of the perimeter. Take it away. Sam's on a quick break. Draws a foul.
Sam's read that from a mile away. She knew where the pass was going. She anticipated it. She went there, got the steal, going to the line for two.
No good on the first. Hits the second. Charlotte Holden takes it up and calls it out. We have an unlisted 21 out there. We'll have to get a name on her. Up for the shot, no good is Bruce. Battle for it. And Finnegan able to pick it up. And the battle continues, diving all over the place.
Great hustle. Great hustle by Finnegan. It looked like the ball almost maybe knocked her right in the head, and she stuck with the play. These players aren't quitting, not yet.
Nope, playing down to the last second. Not quite sure what the officials
I think
say.
the official's making sure that she's okay after getting struck with the basketball.
Holden feeds it over to Flanagan. Into the interior, we'll get a foul here as Finnegan draws contact.
You know, it's really interesting to see, Tom, as the second half has progressed and you see the explosive firepower of Westboro, how well Hopkinton really played in that first half, you know, being underdogs coming into this game at a record of 5-7, playing a really powerhouse Westboro squad at 12-2. And Hopkinton kept it close for about 2.5 quarters.
They did.
And then Westboro just piled it on. And it seems now that was inevitable. But credit to Hopkinton for battling so hard.
Absolutely. Those Grace Burns and Rachel Carpenter that really provided a spark for Westboro. Carpenter had 8 points all in the third quarter, and then you had Grace Burns with 12 points all in the second half. Flanagan on the entry. Holden feeds it over the unlisted 21, who we'll be sure to get a name of. Up for three, knocking it down. Charlotte Holden, the freshman.
And I know she called glass on that one. Nice shot by Holden.
It's stolen away. Flanagan tries to put it back up and draws a foul. Well, hold on a minute, Steve. We've still got 43 seconds left. Anything is possible, right?
And they can cut this now to a 3-possession game, as Mike Gorman would say.
Flanagan on the first. Got it. Hits the second. It's a 9-point game.
It's a 3-possession game. And more importantly, this is the kind of positive momentum we were just talking about. This is what you want to see at the end of the game going into tomorrow.
Absolutely. You foul here? They're not going to. Driving in is Wilichowski. Now up top, Sams draws contact. I think they should have fouled earlier, Steve. Why not?
They could have really tried to, foul immediately and really extend it, make it a battle of free throws. And I guess Coach Greco made the decision to not go that route tonight.
No good on the front end of the one-and-one, and we have a jump ball in favor of Westboro.
A lot of jump balls in this game.
It's a good hustle out there by both sides, and certainly an entertaining game tonight. Into the interior, Mills kicks it back out. Tipped by a defender, and Westboro just going to burn out the clock, and they'll snap their 2-game losing streak. And that'll do it. Westboro defeats Hopkinton by a final of 49-40. Westboro improves to 13-2 on the season. The Hillers fall to 5-8. Well, Steve, it was a game that featured a lot of momentum shifts, some great hustle by both teams, and very entertaining game as well.
Westboro just had that one significant run from late in the third until early in the fourth where they just pulled away. And I got to say, that it was a very evenly matched battle tonight. But the one key difference that I noticed was that eventually Westboro got hot with the threes, and Hopkinton couldn't answer with the threes. And with a final differential of 9 points, that seems to have made the difference. Westboro getting those good looks on three, hitting a significant amount in the third and fourth quarters.
Well, congratulations to Westboro on the win here tonight, and hopefully the Hillers can turn it around tomorrow night against Ashland. But that's going to do it for us for tonight. For our crew, Andy Ritz and Mike Terosian, my broadcast partner Steve Hain, I'm Tom Nappy. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.